Yeah, good morning and good evening, everyone. So we are discussing continuous integration from yesterday. Okay. So, and then yesterday, what we did, we installed Jenkins, and then we installed agent. We connected Jenkins and agent, master and agent basically. So you can have any number of agents based on your project requirement, and it has more advantages that we will discuss. So you can maintain different agents for different purpose. For example, if you want Windows applications also, you can maintain Windows agents. Okay, so there you will have Windows environment. So you can still use Jenkins install in Linux server, but it can have agent which is installed with Windows, and you can build Windows related applications also. Okay, so that is one advantage, and you have different kind of environments. For Java projects, you can maintain one agents, and for Node.js, you can maintain one agent, and for different deployment platforms. Okay, also based on the requirement, you can maintain any number of agents. So that's the concept. And then we have been discussing the pipeline syntax. Obviously, we can forget that freestyle jobs, okay, that is nowhere used and not useful for the complex projects. Okay, may be useful for very small projects to get instant results. Okay, but pipeline is the popular thing, and inside the pipeline, declarative pipeline is the latest Jenkins feature. Okay, so at any point of time in your interview, they may ask to share your screen, and then they will ask you to write a simple pipeline syntax. So you should be able to, and you should be able in a position to write a syntax like this: pipeline, and then inside here you will have agent section, and you will have options, and you will have stages, and inside that you can have stage, and you can give stage name here, and here you can have steps. So inside that steps you can mention like that. So this is, you should be able to write like this. Okay, and after stages, just let us move it forward. After stages, you should have something like post section, and inside post you will have always, and then success, and then failure. At least this skeleton syntax you need to write, or else while writing itself you can just say build, and you can mention like this. If it is a Node.js, you can just write npm build. First install dependencies, npm install, and unit test. It will not have build because our yeah, we'll discuss that. Something like npm test command, and then you can just like write like sonar scan. Here you can write sonar scanner, something like this, a skeleton code you can write in the interviews while sharing your screen, then you will get good advantage. Okay, so that's it, very simple. So from yesterday we are starting this. Okay, so this is our syntax to test up GitHub webhooks. Okay, so you can tell that also in interviews. So how your pipeline will be triggered. So we have GitHub webhooks configured, and then whenever there is a push event inside our GitHub repos, automatically we will get the trigger to the Jenkins pipeline. So that is, you can say. Yeah, we still have Jenkins pipeline. pipeline syntax, we are covering it, declarative and then agent stages, and we will see few more options. Post section, yesterday we have seen that, and then environment. So environment is nothing but just like in shell environment, you can have environment variables, and then in Ansible also you can have some environment variables. Similarly, you can have some environment here. Okay, key value pair. This is key and this is value. You can access anytime. Okay, for example, credentials also you can access, but we can access something like some the credentials. We don't see credentials, no. Okay, first let us install the Jenkins I just created. So on daily, you can stop the instance, okay, whenever you are not using it, but your IP address will be changed. That's it. This is our agent. I just now entered AWS credentials through AWS configure. Okay. So this is our master. So from next session, you can stop the instance, okay, and then you can use it. Jenkins. And just go to this download. Okay. Adding Jenkins repo, importing key, and then installing this one. I will add Jenkins also. And we need to install Java inside our agent as well. And after that, just systemctl start Jenkins. Okay, we will see today remaining pipeline syntax, and then we can discuss on scanning part like Sonar scan. Okay, so the pipeline syntax, we can have some environment like this. We go systemctl start Jenkins. Okay, so this will open port number 8080, and now let us enable as well. Get the key. This is the key. can install suggested plugins. Sometimes installing these plugins may fail. You can always check for retry option. Okay. And this is not mandatory also. You can install later manually, but it is good because we use these plugins frequently. Anything you can enter. Save and finish. Start using Jenkins. Okay, so immediately we can go ahead and then connect our node. I'm just naming it as agent 1. You can name it however you want. And this is our agent. You can give internal IP because both are in the same network. So at a time, I want 3 jobs can run. Home, CentOS, agent 1 is the label I want. And use this node as much as possible and launch it via SSH. IP address, you can add credentials. SSH authentication. Sorry, username is CentOS. Password and SSH authentication. Add it. No verification. Save. Then this master will try to connect agent and you can see the logs. Connection closed. Wrong password. Okay. Let us go and then check the credentials. Manage Jenkins. So here there will be credentials. System global SSH authentication update. Change password. DevOps 321. Now we will try. Okay, successfully connected. So now both agent and this one is connected. So we have our Jenkins practice Jenkins file. Okay, so this is what we use pipeline from SCM. Okay, so you need to store it inside the source code management. So this is the agent, and we have an option here called that is timeout. So inside pipeline syntax, there is something called options. Here, timeout. So this means your pipeline should be completed within 1 hour. Okay, so that is the options here. And we have ANSI color also, can install later. Yeah, and now we are checking on the environment, right? So this is the environment you can give at the global level. So I'm just giving authentication. Okay, so here it is something like key value pair. Okay, for example, user equal to something key value pair, and then just you can test it anywhere. Print env. Okay, so let us see this. view terminal bash. Some message. Okay, how can you configure here? New item, pipeline test, something like this, and pipeline. Okay, we'll see multi-branch also later. And then here, will triggers yesterday we have seen anyhow. Whole SEM, we will see this today. Pipeline from SEM, you need to select your GitHub. And it is Jenkins practice. This one. Okay. And apply save. Build now. So this is running. If you see here in the environment, we should have that user. So you can see you have the access to the environment variables. Okay, similarly, they are saying you can have the access to the credentials also. We can just see this here. Just copy this stage. I'm just checking. SSH authentication. So you can store any credentials inside Jenkins, and you can give only particularly to this stage. Okay, if you give it here, this is the global. So this is accessible for every stage. Okay, but if you give it in individual stage, this is accessible only till this stage. Okay, so within this stage, we'll use it, and then we can leave it on another stages. So now let us try to see whether you will have access or not. So just like that agent also, you can have different agents for different stages. Okay. So now here print environment. Here there will be something like this is build stage. Here you will have okay. So AUTH auth is the one we have given. Okay, so it will have auth underscore user, and it will add auth underscore password also. Okay, but it is confidential. It is not printing in the console, but you can use it inside the code whenever you want. So Jenkins is making it available. Your credentials also you can access within the stages. You can give any random key and it will make it available. Your key underscore user and then your key underscore password. Okay, so you can use this whenever you want. So that is the environment and options actually. And what else we have? Parameters. So this parameters is a little bit important. So your job needs some inputs. Okay, but you can always pass those parameters, just like a parameter section you can have. So I'm entering parameters. Okay, here you are asking string. This is Boolean, means yes or no. And this is choice, like drop down. So this is password. So you can have different kind of parameters. Text is nothing but like a paragraph. You can write bigger something about yourself, something like this. So this is just an example we can see in our real-time or RoboShop project. How can you pass same kind of parameters? How those are useful. So now if you push, so obviously in general terms, whenever you see, if you're running a program, if you're running a script, if you're running something, you need few inputs at the runtime. Okay, so that is what these parameters are useful, inputs. So for the first time, it will not enable, it has to run. Okay, generally now here I'm running it. You cannot see this right now. From the next build, you can see. Okay. So now you can see build with parameters. So you can just give your parameters. So this is yes or no. If you click, it is true. If you unclick, it is false. Okay, now this is false. So this is true. And you have a drop down here. And you can enter something, a secret text. Okay, now you can go for build. So it means, so these are available. These are available, but how can you use them? So again, here there is an option. Parameters. So here, so you got these parameters. How you can use them is params dot your name of the parameter. So now here the name is person, the name is biography. So the value, whatever you enter here, that will come into this variable name, and you can access with this like this params dot something like that. Okay, now I'm copying this stage. Just keeping one more stage like params. So now you can build with parameters and then build. Okay, now you have the access. Okay, hello Jenkins, toggle true, choice one. Okay, secret, generally you are not allowed to print, but here we are just printing it for the testing purpose. So this is how you can pass the parameters to the pipeline. And next thing, triggers. Okay, so triggers, yesterday we have seen one trigger. For any Jenkins job trigger, how you want to trigger that, you can obviously see here. Oh, no. Configure. So inside here, there will be option for triggers. Okay, like cron tab, you can just see it's a cron tab syntax. Okay, so at what time, what hour, um, what minute, what day, you can select everything. Okay, and this one build after other projects build, we will see this. This is something like something called as upstream and downstream jobs. And GitHub hook trigger, yesterday we have seen this. And poll SCM, so this is opposite to the GitHub webhook trigger. This poll SCM is so what is GitHub webhook? So push event, GitHub triggers, Jenkins job. So this is GitHub push event. So poll is opposite, poll or pull generally. Okay, so what your Jenkins job will check GitHub periodically. Okay, and triggers if there is a change. So this is another type of trigger. GitHub webhook is your GitHub actively triggering the Jenkins job when there is a change. But polling is nothing but going and checking continuously. Your Jenkins job can poll your GitHub continuously, and it will check if there is a changes only. If there are changes, you can always read this. Okay, if there are only changes, then it can be triggered. Okay, so that is poll SCM. Right now, let us see build periodically. So cron syntax, cron tab. So every 2 minutes, I want to trigger. So this is the one. You can just give this one here. Since it's a pipeline, we can mention it inside the pipeline. So triggers. And here you can mention every 2 minutes. Or every 1 minute, let us run it, for example. So this will run every 1 minute. I am pushing it. But you need to run for the first time to give an effect. Okay, so now you can go and check the configuration. So this will be applied. Okay, now you can see. So it is just giving a warning. Generally, we don't run every 1 minute, but it is for testing purpose. You can at least run once in an hour, or generally we call something like nighttime builds. Okay, midnight 12 a.m. You can schedule the job, because developers may be working 9:30, so and they may leave the office, but every night you want to check what is happening to your code, then you can configure nighttime builds. That is nothing but you can configure to run this at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. So we call this as nightly builds. Okay, so now this will run every 1 minute now. Now let us check. You can see started by timer. This is started by admin. So this one is started by timer every 1 minute. Okay, now we have to see build number 8 also. We'll wait for 1 minute. It's showing the text as wrong here. Last run was 2359 and next should be 2459 generally, but it is showing the same thing. You can see 8th one is ran. So it will be running every 1 minute. And finally, we have other types of syntax, that is triggers, Jenkins cron syntax, anyhow we know this, and stage we know. Tools is not an important thing because it's not supporting everything, only Java related build tools. So input we have seen yesterday. Okay, we have implemented to our Terraform, we take the approval. Okay, input is the section, you can give some message, you can give some options. Okay, let us run this. So this will be used generally for approval purpose. Okay. Yeah. So this is the message to pop up. Okay means it will take the approval. if you'll get by default abort option, and there is something like who is submitting this and parameters. It can ask for the inputs from you. Okay, so those inputs you can use it here directly with the variable. Okay, so now I will disable this triggers. Build with parameters, build. So it should wait at the input section. So it got failed. Let us see why is it failed. Duplicate stage name. Okay, your stage name should not be duplicated. It is, I can say, input. Okay. So here it is waiting for the input. You can enter any name you want. And yes, we should, it means it is like okay, giving approval. Okay. Yeah. That is about input section. And what else we have? When condition. When is just like a condition, when in Ansible also, right? So it will evaluate based on particular condition. So you can control whether the particular stage can run or not by using when. Okay, now I can make prod deploy. Okay. So when this stage should run is if the branch is master, then you can deploy to the production. Okay, steps as h echo or something, deploying to production. Okay, if the branch is not master, you don't need to deploy to production. Okay. So obviously we are running with master branch. Okay, now it should trigger. Input requested. So yes, we should. Oh, why is it skipped? This is master. It is expecting something like this. Let us just test. Still it is skipped. Can have many conditions. But, spelling mistake. No. Let's evaluate another thing. Let us leave that one. It's not so much important. If, for example, trigger this when the user is Sivakumar. Okay. So if the user triggered is Sivakumar, or at least the user environment is Sivakumar, then apply to production or something like that. Just a testing, okay? We can understand it more at the time of configuring our RoboShop through pipelines. Yes, so now this is running because the environment is correct. You can change it to skip it. Okay, so just for learning the syntax, or at least practicing the syntax. So now sequential stages, obviously our stages are all sequential, okay, one by one. It is running one by one. You can see this. It is running one by one. So this is called sequence execution. If this is failed, then the next steps will be failed, right? So that is the sequence. So we have some plugin. So that is like Blue Ocean. So this will give us nice UI. Blue Ocean. Available plugins. Blue Ocean. Install. Okay. Now you can see, you can open Blue Ocean. You can check the nice UI. Individual stages like this. And you can see the execution is sequence. Okay. Now I'm going back to Jenkins. You can always open new Blue Ocean in the new tab. Okay. Pipelines, pipeline test. Here, now we will see the parallel execution. Parallel execution is nothing but one stage is not dependent on another stage. So to save some time, because you have a lot of computation, lot of RAM is free, lot of CPU is free. So to save some time, you can always trigger jobs in a parallel execution. Okay. I don't know whether it is braces are properly selected or not. Let us see. This is okay. Removing this when condition, removing this. So now this is the parallel. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. And we need a brace for this. And we need another brace for this one. Okay, parallel stage, you are writing a stage parallel, and inside that just a parallel keyword, and all these stages will run parallelly. And this one, I'm removing the agents also here, because we already mentioned the agent in a global. Okay, so now what will happen? This one will run parallelly, but out of this, these are again sequence. So you can see this properly if I mention it here. Okay, now let us run. Okay, is it running? Yeah. So now you can see the execution will be parallel, but it was very fast. Let us write some sleep condition. SH sleep 10 seconds. Sleep, and then here also sleep, and here also sleep. Run. Now you can open and check. So this one is running parallelly, this one is running parallelly, but these two stages in a sequence way. Overall, 1, 2, 3 parallel stages, but inside 3 you have another sequence. So you can make use of the resources of your server to make the build very fast if the stages are not dependent on each other. Okay. So that is the parallel stages. Yeah, that's it. Matrix is not needed. So this is the pipeline syntax maximum we use in our projects. So in our interviews, if they ask, you have to write a skeleton section, start with pipeline, write like this. Okay. So exactly write like this so that they will understand you got real. Okay, agent just mention as any, you got real experience, and then generally options can mention. So please remember this one. I don't remember, but you remember timeout, mentioning timeout, and then parameters, write parameters, and at least mention one parameter like environment. This one, take this one, choice parameter. Can mention dev, QA, prod, select environment. And then after this, you mention stages or environment, something like this. Stages, inside that stage, like build. Like this, you write, don't write everything so that they will understand like your by heart, you by hearted. Okay. So just like write a skeleton syntax after the stages, write post syntax. So this will be very helpful for you. Okay. So now let us write pipelines for our ProboShop components. So I just have copied here our catalog code. So this is the very simple code, right? Server.js. Okay, so this is the Node.js code. So where I took this code is we have ProboShop GitHub. Here, this is the one actually we are working on. So all our project code is here. You can just see catalog. So this is the package.json, server.js. I just copied here. Okay, I removed few unnecessary things like Instana, all these things. So you can clone this code and you can push it into your own repository. Okay, so now let me make it catalog. It's already created. Okay, I will push this. So while you are practicing it, just clone it and then rm-rf. You can remove the .git directory when you clone my repository from my account to your local. Okay, first clone it like, and then you can initialize it, and then you can make it master and git remote add origin. You add it your origin. Okay. Now you can push. So this is the code, okay, developer code. So now we will add our Jenkins file, and then finally we have something called as global shared libraries. Okay, so that is more flexible, just like the Terraform modules. We will work on that as well. So now I'm writing here Jenkins file. This is a raw syntax. We have to improve it stage by stage. Okay, so let me take the first raw syntax. This pipeline syntax. Thinking this one. Okay, so our agent is, this is the agent. So since it's a Node.js environment, our job is running inside the agent. So agent should have the Node.js installed or not. So obviously our agent should have the Node.js installed. Okay, so let us run our Node.js installation. Know that, right? So here, catalog. So this is the script to install Node.js. Sudo bash, or generally take the sudo access, run it. Wow. So this is now made as deprecated, but still fine. So it is just saying, I will wait for 60 seconds and then install. Okay, we will change this. But for now, let us stick to this. Okay, it is installed. So our Node.js is installed. So now here, let us make our pipeline. So pipeline, the first stage is install dependencies. Okay, so remove this agent and just mention npm install. That is the first stage. So generally, let us discuss something very important. So there is something called as shift left in DevOps. So we are discussing the CI process now. So there are different types of languages. One is Java. So you should do generally compile here. So once you compile Java code, you will get bytecode. Okay, so this is bytecode. Remaining all languages like Node.js and then Python and React.js and Go language, whatever it is. Here you no need to compile. Okay, so we will directly build it. Okay. So here the Node.js environment is little different. You no need to even build it. You can directly run Node something like server.js. Okay, so you will get results if your code is fine. Okay, so before running this, obviously you need to install npm install. So our developer is writing some code. Once when you're starting the deployment in dev environment or any environment, first thing you should make sure you have the dependencies available. Okay, once the dependencies are available, then your code will run successfully. If the dependencies are not available, then your code will not run. But Java process is a little different. Generally, you need to install dependencies and you need to compile, then package. It will give you jar file. Okay, so this we will discuss because we have our shipping project. So right now this is a Node.js project. So you need to just install the dependencies. Okay, so this is the build process generally, and we will have unit test. Unit testing is completely done by developers. Okay, we don't have any control on this, but you can force our developers to write the unit test cases. Unit testing is nothing but consider a house. So you are so while building a house, what are you doing? So you have walls, you have rooms, and then you have the whole roof. Okay, so how the persons will do the testing while constructing the house, how the construction workers they do testing. So will they do testing after the house is completed, or will they do testing on every day whether the wall is straight or not as per the measurements or not? You can type in the chat how they do testing. So they do every day, obviously, right? So they have to make sure the walls is in a correct line or not. Okay, it is in a straightforward line or not. So that is the testing. Here the basic block is wall. Basic block for a house is wall. Similarly, basic block for a code is function. You can see the functions here. Okay, so this is one function. This is one function. So what it is doing, it is getting all the products from our catalog. So this is one function. This is getting the individual product details. Okay, and it is getting along category wise, and it is getting all categories. So this is the function. So if you test this function properly, then you can say the basic level testing is over. So unit testing is always the basic level testing. So generally, this is ignored by a lot of developers and a lot of companies. But as a DevOps engineer, you can be very strict. You will not allow if the developer is not writing unit test cases, because many errors, 90% of the errors can be filtered at the time of unit testing stage. Okay, so what is this unit testing is? For example, let us take this function. Let us take this function. So what is this doing? It is getting the individual product details and description. If you click on artificial intelligence, some product name. So this function is responsible to get the details. So it will get the product ID at runtime from the browser. You can mock this. You can mock this. General unit testing, what they do is you can. So they will mock the request. they will mock the request like we are sending some product ID. And unit testing can test that code whether it is able to fetch product details or not. Okay, so this is the unit testing. So generally any program, right? Just now we have seen parameters. So this needs some input. Function need input. Function needs input. Then it gives output. So what this unit testing can be done, how the unit testing can be done by developers is, so they will try to give some mock inputs and they have to check this code, whether this code is working to give the expected output or not. So this is the unit testing. This should be done by developers. We don't have any control on this, but we can measure whether they are doing unit testing or not in the Sonar scan. We will see that anyhow. But if you need Node.js developers are here, maybe you can help us to write unit test cases. Otherwise, I'll take some time. Take ChatGPT help to write this. Any Node.js developers are here? No, at least Java developers. Okay, it's fine. So now you can just think. So our developers are writing unit test cases, and then I'm writing another stage that is unit test. Cool. Unit testing is done here. But you need to explain in the interviews. Our developers are writing unit test cases. We will configure unit test case also in our pipeline. Okay, so these are our steps. Now let us run this. We have done this. Now we need to configure this. Okay, let me create a folder like RoboShop. So this folder is dedicated for RoboShop. That's it. It is just a folder. Inside RoboShop, I'm configuring catalog, and this is going to be a pipeline project. Okay. And here, pipeline from SCM and Git repository URL is it's fine. Apply, save, build now. So dependencies are trying to be installed. And this is success. So now we need to scan. So there are different types of scanning. Understand this. Static source code analysis. So what this one will do, checks the source code, and just like you are writing some code, it may be working, but it may not be according to the best standards. Generally, you will ask your team leader or your senior engineer help, your senior developer help, whether the code is in a best standards or not, whether the code is implementing the best standards or not. Then they will give you some suggestions. So similarly, Sonar scan can act as like your team leader or something, and it can analyze the code and it can give you the recommendations. Okay, analyze it and can give recommendations. So that is static source code analysis. And we have something called static application security testing. So what this one will do is, it is main concentration is on security perspective, like unnecessary variables, unnecessary prints of the passwords. If your code is giving lenience to hack, then this one will check it. Okay, checks the code based on security perspective. So this is static, and dynamic application security testing is there. So this is generally mocks the process of code at runtime. Okay, so your application, your code is very good. It passed the static application security testing. It passed the static source code analysis. But dynamic application security testing, imagine like your application is already in production, it is live. So someone will always try to hack your application. Mocks the process of hacking. Okay, not for public, generally one of your team. So this is very costly process. We already generally have third-party companies. Okay, so they will deploy a lot of persons. Their intention is always try to find the loopholes in your system. Okay, so this cannot be done generally in the pipeline. So this you can say we will inside the pre-production. Okay, we will discuss this. Forget about it right now. But this is one type of scanning, and there is open source scanning, open source library scanning. So what is this open source library scanning? So your code is good, everything is good, but you can see here you are getting some dependencies from the outside internet, body parser, Express, MongoDB library, and something you are getting from the internet. Okay, so what will happen here? Their code also may have some problems, right? So you need to obviously scan the libraries. Libraries you are getting from internet. You don't know how they have written. So you must scan libraries or dependencies also. So while explaining about your pipeline implemented in your project, generally like, so they will ask this question, how you implement pipelines in your project. So you can say, we have a pipeline so that can build it, that can install the dependencies. We will ask our developers to do the unit testing. So we have unit testing stage, and we have different types of scanning. One is static source code analysis. We are using SonarScan, and static application security testing. The popular tool here is Fortify, and you can say open source library scanning, something like Nexus IQ. These are the tool names. Okay. So we don't have any control. Our responsibility is just to scan. So we will see this now. So you can say, so I'll do scanning, and later we will proceed with other stages. First, remember this, we need the below stages, that is install dependencies and build and SonarScan for now. Okay. So now let us implement SonarScan. So to implement SonarScan, obviously you need to have SonarQube server installed. Let us create one instance. SonarQube, it's a big software. You should go with T3 Medium. Can be fine for this. So this is the SonarQube. So generally it is an enterprise level software. Okay. You can have community edition, developer edition, and enterprise edition. This is a licensed one. Data center edition, they will install the SonarQube in our project data center or server. Okay. So the installation process is documentation. Here there is a try SonarQube. So this is for the development purpose, but in a production, generally in a big project, how they do is, so they will have one database, like either Microsoft or Oracle or Postgres. So you need to set up a database, and on top of it, you need to set up SonarQube server. So generally for our Jenkins, so what is the, we have UI, you have backend, and the database is here is file system. Okay, but for SonarQube, there is UI, there is backend, but here the database is like either Oracle or MS SQL or MySQL, whatever. Okay, so this is the production version, but we cannot concentrate on that right now. We can go with file system. So this is the, we can say POC version. Now we will go with this tryout SonarQube. So generally you need to download the zip file and you need to run a command like this. But we have already in our lab auto command. Sudo su-lab auto. So if you enter lab auto, so we have multiple tools here. One of our another trainer, Raghu, he made these scripts available. You can always go and then check here how these scripts are done. So you have SonarQube. Inside this SonarQube, you have install.sh. You can see here, you can clearly view the script. Okay, first we are checking whether the user is root user or not, and then we are downloading it. We are installing Java. This is the dependency, but just like install Java for our Jenkins, and then he is downloading and he is creating one user and he's enabling and starting. That's it. Very simple. 4-5 steps only. You can also try like this. Okay, but you can also check our clear script visible here. Okay, just to save some time, because installations is not our core learning. Okay, our core learning is DevOps. If we cannot spend too much time on installations, configurations, those things, you can always check here. Okay, very simple process. So where is our SonarQube server? 53. Okay, just enter 53. So it will install SonarQube in your server. Okay, how these scanning softwares work? It can be either this one, static source code, static application, or open source scanning. How these scanning softwares will work? Another thing we have as image scanning. Okay, so one of the tool here, it is Twistlock. So this will scan Docker images. So it can be any scan. How it works is, let us just understand it. So this is your server or agent, Jenkins agent or any server. Okay, and this is console, scanning software console, scanning software console. I'm generally making a general opinion. Okay, it can be any scanning software, and we will have one command line software here. Scanner CLI. So this is scanning console. So this scanning console, generally we are cloning the code, right? Here we are cloning the code inside our Jenkins. So here code is cloned. So what this scanner will do, scanner will access this code. Scanner will access this code. It will analyze it locally and it will upload the results to the console. Okay. So why we have console? It will give access to the developers. Developers also can see what is happening with our code. So they can log into this tool, just like Jenkins, and then they can check what happened to the code. They will see the recommendations. Based on the recommendations, they will correct the code. And what our work is here is quality gates. Okay, so that we will discuss. So the process is the scanner CLI will be there. It can be either static source code analysis, static application security testing, or open source image scanning. There will be a scanner CLI installed on the agent. So this will have access to the code. This will analyze it and publish the results to the scanning console. And here you will generally configure quality gates. So these quality gates will check the quality. If it is not meeting the standards, you will fail the pipeline. Okay. So that we will see this now. So it is running netstat-lntp. If you just see, it will open port number 9001. Oh, okay, 9000 actually. $9,000. Okay, so this is our SonarQube server, and admin is the default username and password. So you need to change it. Admin to admin123. I'm changing. Okay. So this is the SonarQube console. Right now it is empty. We are going to work on this. And as I said, you need to have scanner CLI in your agent. So now it is, the scanner is nothing but the software name here is in our agent, lab auto, if you mention. So there will be Sonar scanner, just 54, enter it. So you can always get the Sonar scanner also from the SonarQube. Sonar scanner, if you type. This is the software actually. You can see how we are installing Sonar scanner. Okay, just inside that op directory, we are downloading it and we are unzipping it. Okay, and then we are renaming it. And there is a command, Sonar scanner, just like Terraform command. We are moving it to a global directory. And then, so you don't need to worry on this. We will see that. That's it. Just downloading the package, just moving it into a particular location. So this is always a command line, Sonar CLI, command line interface. So here our Sonar scanner is installed. Now you can just run Sonar scanner command line. So that's it. This is how you run, but it needs obviously some, let us go to this opt and here we have sonar. Okay. So there is a configuration directory. So obviously you need to tell your CLI where is your console. So this console URL, we need to make it available here. Okay. So what can we do here is, so there is a sonar scanner properties, VI sonar scanner properties. So now you can give here, you can just tell the sonar scanner where is the sonar scanner, sonar cube server. Okay, so this is our server, right? So you can just take it. Like this. Okay. So what is the authentication? Something like sonar.token is available. And here can create an authentication administrator or my account security. Here you can create one token, Jenkins token. Generate, copy this. So this is the token. So now what we did, we install SonarQube console, we install SonarQube scanner. We are informing SonarQube scanner what is your console details, what is the address URL, and what is the authentication. Okay, so that's it. So now we have something called Sonar project properties. So you need to make this file available. Sonar project properties. So inside that, what is your project key? My project key is catalog. Okay. And then remaining things, it's not mandatory. So right now I have given Sonar project properties, Sonar project key, and you can also mention here the same SonarQube URL and SonarQube token, but I'm making it available in global. Okay, so this is global for all projects inside this Jenkins, so that will work. So you have many options. You can mention that. Okay, we will see that one by one option. Now, inside the Jenkins, I need to mention sonar scan. Okay. So the command is nothing but sonar scanner. Sonar scanner. This is the command. So sonar scanner command expects sonar project dot properties should be available. Otherwise, it will get an error. Okay. How it will get an error? For example, now if I run sonar scanner, so what to scan? You need to tell it, right? So there is an error, obviously. So you don't have sonar.login or we already mentioned it, right? Okay, maybe opt sonar conf vi sonar scanner properties. Here maybe sonar.login. Okay. Now I'm running randomly, I'm running it. What is it saying? There is unknown sonar.project key. So this one, I am making it as now the authentication is success. Okay, authentication is success, but it needs some key. What is the project I have to analyze? That is what we have given here. Okay, so when you run Sonar Scanner, it definitely expects this file, sonar-project.properties. So in this, I'm mentioning sonar.project key. Okay. So before that, let me run just ls-ltr just to make sure it is available for the Sonar Scanner. Okay. So it has this file already. So now it is saying success. You can always check it in the console. Now, generally our developer, we don't have any understanding of the code. Our developer will go here and they will check catalog and they can see there are 3 bugs, 0 vulnerabilities, and there is something security rating is E. A is the highest rating and E is the lowest rating. And it is saying it will take 1 hour to resolve all these issues. And there are 8 code smells. Smell is nothing but anybody can guess. That is the meaning of smell, right? So it means like your code is something vulnerable. So there is a chance to hack, something like that. And your code coverage is 0%. Code coverage is nothing but how many lines of your code is covered through unit testing. So it's good. You wrote the code. You wrote the code. It is nice, but it is not covered in the unit testing. You are not running unit testing to check this code. The basic principle of testing is unit testing. Lot of projects, lot of managers, maybe the architects ignore this one. So the basic testing is unit testing. If you do unit testing properly, many issues can be resolved at the lowest level, at the starting stage itself. So that's what it is saying. You are not covering any unit testing. Okay, and there is no duplicated of lines. Now developer will go this, click on this, and he will understand. It is giving some recommendation. Okay, so you have in your James dot, this is node modules. Okay, it's not node modules is not our code. So this is node modules. Node modules is not our code. Actually, it is open source internet code. Okay, so now I want to ignore this. So ignore a folder in Sonar Scanner. If you type like this, so it will exclude. Because this is not our code, I want to ignore this. Node underscore modules. Okay, now I am pushing it. I'll run this again. Now it is analyzing it, but it will exclude that particular folder. You can see 2485. Our node modules downloaded from internet are excluded. So it is done. Now you can go and check. Now the bugs are 0 because we don't have any bugs. Our developer write the clean code, but still there are 2 security hotspots. We will come here and it is giving some recommendation. Priority is low, insecure configuration, and it will give us how can you fix this. Okay, so we don't understand this anyhow. Our developer will have the access. Okay, and he will check the code smells. What are the code smells? And you can go here, remove unused function Mongo Connect. So if you are not using any function, so there is no point you keep it there. Okay, so that will unnecessarily open a security loophole. So it is saying to remove it. So these recommendations through the code level, it can be understood by developers. We don't have any control on this. What is the control we have as a DevOps engineer is to give some quality gates. So there is a quality gates here. Okay, you can create one new quality gate, RoboShop, save it. Okay, and then add a condition on overall code or new code. You can add condition. New code is nothing but, so what is the new code generally? Right now, today, 10 lines of code. And next he added another 5 lines. Now, overall code is 15 lines. New code is 5 lines. Okay, Sonar scanner continuously check the new code as well as the overall code. If your new code is good and overall code is not good, then it is obviously bad. Your new code, your overall code, everything should be correct. So that's what it says. On overall code, I'm writing a condition. Coverage. So this coverage is our code coverage. Yeah, coverage. So I'm writing coverage on overall code. It should not be less than 80%. So at least should unit test your code 80%. And then I'll write another condition on overall code. Security review. Security review should be A always. Okay. So these two conditions I add. So generally you can add these things, right? Where is this code? Smells should be 0. Bugs, it should be 0. So you can add any number of conditions, okay, based on your project requirement. And you come here, catalog, and there will be a project settings. Now, right now, the quality gate is passed because it's not restricted. Now I'm applying quality gate of RoboShop. So this is my project dedicated one. So now if you run this, okay, pipeline is success. Now you can go and check your SonarQube. So it is failed. You can see. So now the scan is failed. So there is no point you go ahead and then deploy it to the development, deploying it to the production. Obviously, your code is buggy. Your code has a lot of defects. So as a DevOps engineer, you should not allow to move forward. So what you do here, there is something called SonarQube quality gate wait. Okay, so you can mention this in your Sonar project properties. So what this one will do is, now it is analyzing it and then pushing it to the SonarQube. That's it. It is not waiting and then checking whether the quality gate is success or failed. Now, if you mention this, our sonar scanner stage will wait, and then if it is passed, then only it will move forward. Otherwise, it will be failure. Okay, for example, a dummy pipeline, I'm going to have it. Deployment. So once the scan is successful, next stage is deployment. Now let us run this. Now you can see it is failed. You can clearly see this. Okay, quality gate is failed. So developer now he don't have any option. He should go and then clear all these issues. So as a DevOps engineer, this is what you have to do. Okay, so not only this scanning, all types of scannings like static application, open source, image scanning. Unfortunately, these softwares are very, very costly, lakhs of dollars. I'll try to find any free version, any software, not only this one, Fortify, but to understand the concept, you don't need to implement only these tools. These are lakhs of dollars. Okay, I will try to find out some free versions and we will try to analyze this. Okay, but the process is same. You will have a console and you will have a scanner CLI. You will analyze, you will send it here. You can implement quality gates. Okay, so if he clears only, then we will proceed. Otherwise, we won't. So you can stop till here and then we can proceed from tomorrow. Other things like, yeah, Sai Arun Yadav.
Sir, nothing, sir. Sorry, nothing, sir. It's clear.
Yeah, so
okay.
Sri Lakshmi Reddy Tadipatri. Sri Lakshmi.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Actually, I'm unable to install the plugins. It is showing some error. Yesterday, I have tried many times.
Okay, you can just create another instance and then do it.
Yes, I have tried with another instances in another regions, always which I have not.
So your security group, you checked your security group?
Yes, checked.
So is it allowing egress traffic?
Actually, I have given yellow all traffic.
So it has the egress?
Yes.
Should not be the case. Generally, okay, you ping me the URL.
Okay. Once again, just now I'm starting the Jenkins.
It's okay, you ping me in the Slack. Okay. Sudhir Pagadala.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah,
Right.
hi.
Shiva, so since we are working with AWS, we have a different one, this one, right? EC2 instance, one for SonarQube and one for Jenkins and all. So what if in case we are working with in-house projects like POC in-house, where
So
we can
on-premise data center. On-premise data center, you mean? Not a cloud environment.
On-premises server.
Yeah, on-premise they have their the SonarQube. They will install like this.
Will they
They will
maintain different
install,
server again, or it
yeah,
will be
SRE team has to maintain. So this
okay?
one, right, installing the data center edition. So there will be a dedicated SonarQube administration team. So their responsibility is to install, to maintain, to administer, to upgrade, to patch. That is there will be a dedicated team.
Okay. So, okay, sure.
Okay.
And that is one thing. And one more thing is, so we have a Jenkins and our agent as a different one. Can't we run both in one machine only? Jenkins itself, not without agent?
Yeah, you can run, no problem. You have to install everything inside the master. That's
Yeah.
not a scalable solution.
No,
If
that
there
is
are 100 projects, okay, right now we have RoboShop is the only one project.
why
And
I
it,
ask, because since if there are more cases, we do the POCs, right? So in that case, we don't get the
in
many issues.
POC you can do, POC you can do, but still POC also we should have this master agent, at least one agent.
Hmm.
See, it's your wish. Generally, the understanding the concept is the main thing. Whether you do it a single server or multiple servers, it's based on the project requirement. Obviously, if you are installing it for the production grade, we don't do it in single server.
Correct. Right. One more thing, Shiva, like general, each user will have each Jenkins URL, right? So in general, each developer will have that Jenkins URL.
Same URL, different credentials.
Right. How to maintain that users?
So there will be option here. So that is again, there will be administration team. Our concentration is not on this administration activities. So there will be, so user section, creating the user, and there is something like LDAP, right? So generally, Microsoft AD authentication, Active Directory. So in your company, you will have a single username and password that is called SSO, single sign-on for all the tools. So you will have that single sign-on configured with our Jenkins also. So SSO Jenkins. Okay, so this is the single sign-on. Your company will be maintaining something like Microsoft Active Directory or Azure AD. And then from there, you need to check your authentication. So you will install some plugins, SAML plugin, and then you will do something like this, user and group roles. That's not our concentration, that can be done by administration team. So this is the problem not only for Jenkins. I mean, this is the, for any tool, you obviously have to connect that with your company Active Directory. Okay. Jonathan?
Yeah, hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start from the yesterday's question. Yesterday, the concept, like yesterday we have configured the AWS access key and secret key, right? On the agent. Again, see, assume that yesterday we have only one agent, so we are able to configure the access key and secrets key. Assume that maybe there may be a situation where we may have more than one agent. So in that time, so should we configure on all the agents these credentials?
No, there is something like you can store the credentials in Jenkins. So we will see that in our upcoming pipelines. Okay, just like manage Jenkins, here there is credentials, right?
Okay.
So here already we have this one SSH authentication. You can create credentials here. You can pass it to the agent. So there is something called with credentials. Okay, so that is, you will store it there, and there is something called syntax with credentials. You will give the ID, so then it will make it available username and password. You use this.
So yeah, then in that case, this one will be included as part of the individual stage.
Yes,
Or maybe, okay.
correct. So we'll use it anyhow.
Okay, and one more thing, like see, today also, yesterday also, we are installing the softwares on the individual agents. Don't we have such kind of mechanism where like master can install required softwares automatically on the
No,
agent?
master no need to have.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you want master to install. Generally, you can write some Ansible playbooks or shell scripts to install to make the agent run. Right now, your project is having 2 agents, okay?
Okay.
But 2 agents are not serving the capacity. You're getting a lot of jobs. So you need to increase the number of agents, right?
Mhm.
So you create new agent and then so you run the script. But we have something called Kubernetes agents and Docker agents. So those are dynamically we can do it. So you can provision the instance inside the Kubernetes environment.
Okay, so that's what like even today we have installed the SonarQube manually we installed, and then Terraform, the AWS CL also we have CLI also we have installed manually yesterday. So
So the solution is you can create a Docker image where you install everything and run it dynamically.
okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that is not the topic to discuss right now. So that is too much advanced.
Okay, and one more question. This one right now, see SonarQube scanner. SonarQube scanner CLI is pulling the information from the SonarQube server to and giving it to the Jenkins agent, right? Jenkins master. So that's why
Yeah.
it is understanding, and it is showing that the job is failed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so which means that SonarQube scanner CLI is pulling the information from the SonarQube server.
Yeah, it is already available. You can check here. So once the analyzation is done, so it has this one, right? What is
So again,
this?
okay, this handshaking is happening between server and CLI.
So here it has one URL. So if you
Okay.
hit that URL, you can also get this.
Okay.
So there will be API. So SonarQube scanner will be calling that API. Okay. And anyhow, this will not work here because it's a local environment, but inside the server, it will work. It can able to fetch the details.
Okay.
Okay.
And are we going to implement this scenario also? Like, see, now the job is failed. See, somebody whoever is running, I mean, they can see that job is failed. But assume that we may scenario like, okay, once the job is failed, we have to send some notification to the a team of people. So
You can send, but generally this pipeline you develop and then you keep it. So it's not you going to trigger this.
Mhm.
Okay, it will be triggered by developers. You can send notifications through the post. You can send an email.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, but again, that email configuration, everything you have to do it.
Okay, are we going to do that as part of our class or
No, that's not our concern. That's not our focus, right? See, email, already we triggered one email while doing shell scripting. So if you want, you can implement the same here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but this can be triggered by the developers. It's not you and triggering because they are developing. They have to trigger and test. So this pipeline is developed by you. So this whole setting is done by you. This quality gates, everything. But you no need to sit in front of the system and the developer may inform you trigger the pipeline. That will not work. So they have the access to trigger the pipeline. So they will trigger the pipeline. It's their responsibility to complete the code. Okay, according to our standards. So they will trigger and they will be continuously checking why is it failed, and then they will go here, they will check and they will do the code changes. Again, they will trigger until it is success.
Okay. Yeah, fine, sure. I think,
Yeah.
and I think for every scanner tool, we will have the CLI also. That is mandatory, right?
That is obviously available for every scanner.
Okay.
Same process. Scanner is uploading the results to the console. There you can have quality gates, and then you can implement your pipeline.
Okay, and it would be really great if we can include the image scanning and also the dependency
The image scanning,
also.
obviously, we have it in AWS. While discussing Docker and Kubernetes, we have ECR. So we'll upload our image here. So here we have the scanning available.
And the dependency scanner also, sure, if you don't mind.
Dependency, yeah, those are highly costly very, very costly softwares. I'll try some free trial versions are available or not. Recently, we got many into the market. Okay, I'll check any free trial versions. By end of this course, we can implement one. Okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Sattar,
Yeah, hi Siva.
yeah, hi,
Good morning.
good morning.
Today we have discussed that parameter values, right? You
Mm.
have just copied and pasted.
Yeah.
There are some syntaxes you have to generate manually, like Git syntax, something like that. When I'm searching on the internet, I have something I have come to know that some dynamic values. Like you have any idea about that?
What is
Like
the
how to
dynamic
generate?
value?
What is the what is the use of this dynamic values? I'm asking.
This one,
Yeah, right.
so you will give option. Generally, you can give an option whether to deploy to dev environment or something to production. We will see that.
Okay. And another question is, Sivariti,
Hmm.
like you have installed the Sonar Cube, right? On the
Hmm.
same instance where Jenkins installed.
That is Sonar Scanner. Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry, Sonar Scanner. But for the trial version of the Jenkins, like it may require Jenkins, like Java 9 version. Okay. For the Sonar Scanner, they required this JDK level. Like we are not able to install on same instance. We are not able to scan the code also. Like how can we tackle this problem?
Jenkins is different. Sonar Scanner is different. I install in agent. Okay, so here we install Sonar Scanner. So this needs some Java environment. That's it.
JDK 11, right?
JDK 11 or JDK 8 or JDK 17, anything. Okay, so basically they will they will develop the tools to work on minimum submit. It may not work in Java 6, but it will work in. So it has a JRE already. You can see this.
Okay.
It has a JRE already. JRE is a very lightweight.
Compared to JDK.
Yeah, so it has the JRE already. So it will work with that one.
Okay, my question, this is my last question. Like this will scan the static code, right? Any bugs or something like that.
Yeah,
So like, what is the difference between this unit testing and this one, Sonar testing?
unit testing is the testing. Scanning is the code.
Okay.
Unit testing is one type of testing that is done by developers. So I explained already. So what is it? They have to check this. So you are getting this ID at runtime. What is the guarantee this code will work? Syntax may be correct, but still you get errors, right?
Yeah.
So we are writing Terraform TF files. Planning was good, but still you will get errors at the time of apply.
Okay.
So at the time of writing, it will work. The syntax is correct. Terraform plan, you are getting the results. But there is no guarantee it will work 100% after you apply.
Okay.
But similarly, at the time of writing, syntax is correct, everything is correct.
Okay.
But there is no guarantee your code will work at runtime. So that will be covered by the unit testing.
Okay.
Okay, so they will pass some IDs through the unit testing. And if this is working with one ID, obviously it will work for any ID.
Okay.
So this is the function is the basic block of any programming. Okay, generally Java, .NET, Python, whatever. If you are able to cover all these functions through unit testing, then you consider 90% of the errors will be coding related errors will be covered here. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Srinu?
Yeah, hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Yeah, I had a small doubt on this basic understanding. What is the difference between Git main and Git master?
There is no difference. It's just a naming convention. You can keep it any name. You can keep it your name also as a branch, and you can make it as default branch.
So main and master is same.
It's just naming convention.
Yeah, got it, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Srinivas,
Shiva, I tried to push the Terraform code to GitHub, and it is saying storage is not enough, only 100 MB. How to increase the storage GitHub?
why you pushed? Maybe you pushed something provider.exe or what?
The Terraform standard code, whatever you said, I tried and try to push it.
Our code is not 100 that much. Okay, so our code is very less. So it's not. It should not cover 100 MB. So you check your git ignore file.
Sorry,
Okay.
what
Git
I need to
ignore.
check?
Git ignore. So we have git ignore at every place.
Uh-huh.
So you add this file. Okay.
It is by default it is added, right?
No, we added it explicitly. It's not by default. Okay.
So if we need to add this, it will allow to push. Huh?
Yeah, it will allow.
I thought of it is by default. Okay, I will check it out. Thank you.
Manohar Reddy.
Good morning, Shiva.
Good morning.
So regarding environment variables, how to find all the available environment variables, Shiva, in Jenkins?
Environment variables. Can just, if you know there is some variable, you have to access it to env dot something.
Okay.
So here we are adding environment, right? So
Yeah.
inside here, you can just print something like env dot your environment variable.
I printed job underscore name, so I'm getting the job name, Shiva. So how?
Yeah, it will make few values available. You can use it. So generally, so your Jenkins will make available of few variables already. You can use it if you want. So what is your workspace? What is your build number? So if, as we discussed, if a build is failed, you need to send an email, right?
Yeah.
So that one, how you form it? So this is the build number. So you will send an email, build number 17 is failed. How you get it? Through the environment variable.
So we can access env.build number directly.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can mention this directly, job URL also. Job URL and append build number /17.
Okay. Got it. And second question, yesterday I had an interview with Wipro. So they had a question on Jenkins, like 10 jobs are running in the node agent, multiple agents, and suddenly master got down. So will all the jobs will continue to run or it will fail? That's a question I got it.
So actually, a collection of logs from the agents is done in the master. So master and agent should be connected, but the stage will run.
Okay.
For example, if at the time of deployment, the master is down, but agent is working, so that particular stage will run.
Oh, okay. So next stage it will fail, sure.
Next stage based on the agent, actually it's master to decide next stage where to run, right? So if you have separate agent section for that next stage, obviously master cannot connect to another agent. That particular stage will run and the next stage will not run.
Oh, okay. And do we have a provision like that, Shiva? Each stage we can run on different agent?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
You can mention agent is a global level here. You can mention each stage on different agent.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Shiva.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will create the artifact and push to the Nexus.
Sure. I have one more question here. Like I'm just extending the question from the previous person. So we are capturing the build URL, right, from the environment variable like this. See, we have a situation where we wanted to send the logs also to the developer or the mail.
No, logs we cannot send. This is very big log. Why you want to send
Not
log?
the entire log, maybe sure the build is failed, and so that by looking at the log, so person can understand. Okay,
It's not important. It's not recommended to send the log file. So we clearly have Jenkins to check the logs only. Just send the URL. They have the access to view the logs.
okay,
So they have the full log available.
okay. Yeah, fine, sure.
So that's all for today. Have a nice day. See you in tomorrow's session. Bye-bye.